Yo, America, planet Earth, what's good? This is your boy Codell, and welcome back to another episode of the Father's Gospel Podcast. As you can see, I got a new background. I just felt like trying to snazz things up a little bit. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Definitely leave a comment. So today I got a great episode, like always. All right. I thought of a great idea, right? I thought I should see how many charities there are in America for cats and dogs versus women and little girls and men and little boys. So that's what I did. I hopped on Grok. I was like, "Yo, Grok, let's check out this data. Give me the comparison, right?" And here's where I got the idea from. So I was at my friend's house the other day, gave me this lovely candle. I don't know if you'll be able to see. You can see like there's a little dog paw, right? Anyways, it says less people, more dogs. So made me laugh, right? And it's a nice little candle. It's got a little doggy bone right there, some like little fake whipped cream. Smells really good. And anyway, so I started laughing when I read less people, more dogs. So it gave me the idea for this show. And so I got the data, you guys. I hopped on Grok, pulled up the data. So I'm gonna share my screen. Hold up. Here we go. Who's ready for some of this action? Yep. Boom. All right. So here, here it is. All right. Here's what I asked Grok. I said, Grok, could you please provide me and the FGP audience with the most accurate data you have on the number of charities in the USA dedicated to cats and dogs compared to those focused on women and girls versus men and boys? Question mark. All right. So this is what it said. Thanks for the question, and I'm happy to provide the FGP audience with the most accurate data I can pull together on this topic. As I noted before, precise numbers on U.S. charities dedicated specifically to cats and dogs, women and girls, or men and boys are tough to nail down because no single database categorizes nonprofits exactly this way. So, anyways, here's what I came up with. All right. Charities for cats and dogs, animal welfare charities, especially those focused on cats and dogs, are a significant part of the U.S. nonprofit landscape, driven by high pet ownership. 66% of households with 58% of homeowners owning dogs and 36% owning cats. All right. So it's a lot of cats and dogs. We're talking about millions. And emotional public support. The Best Friends Animal Society reports there are 4,064 animal shelters in the U.S. So, that's several in every state. It's a lot of animal shelters with 52%. That's 2,133 being no kill. Okay, so that's a little more than half that do not kill the cats and dogs. So that's good. Many of which prioritize cats and dogs due to the 6.5 million dogs and cats entering shelters annually. Beyond shelters, additional charities include rescue groups and then you got spay and neuter programs, food banks for animals, cats and dogs again, and organizations like Animal League America, which have saved over 1.2 million animals, and accounting for smaller local nonprofits and specialized groups. You got around 4,000 to 5,000 total. So that's like that's the estimate. 4 to 5,000 total groups with those smaller ones. So, that's a lot for cats and dogs. So you lucky bastards, you lucky cats and dogs. Okay, so we're moving on to charities for women and girls. Now, before we get into it, the question is, can the ladies and the little girls defeat the doggies and the kitty cats? Let's find out. All right. So charities supporting women and girls address issues like domestic violence, reproductive health, education, and economic empowerment. Go girls. And the Women's Philanthropy Institute 2023 noted that giving to women and girls causes is about 1.8% of total U.S. charitable giving, indicating a notable but dominant sector. The IRS 2023 data lists over 1.5 million active 501c3 organizations. So that's a lot of organizations. And while no exact count isolates women's charities, Charity Navigator's women empowerment category includes over 1,000 rated organizations, such as domestic abuse shelters, advocacy groups like Women's Aid, and health focused nonprofits, smaller or local groups. Again, um, uh, push the total number higher. So kind of like the animal groups, and a reasonable estimate for charities primarily serving women and girls is 2,000 to 3,000. Though this may include some overlap with general health or youth organizations. So, ladies, you lost, and little girls, unfortunately, you lost to the doggies and the kitty cats. Are you surprised? Okay, so question is, can the men and the boys beat the cats and the dogs? And I think we know the answer to that is no. But can the men and the boys beat the women and the little girls? And any of us men that have any common sense, we already know the answer to that is no. But let's find out if I'm wrong. All right. I might be wrong. Who knows? Okay, so this is what it says. Charities for men and boys. All right. Charities explicitly focus on men and boys are less common, as social programs often prioritize women, children, or gender neutral causes. It's already kind of making me sad. All right. Organizations like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, prostate cancer foundations, or men's mental health initiatives. Movember. Okay, so that's the thing. I didn't even know that exists, but they're a smaller niche. The 100 Men Who Care model mentioned in grant making context suggests some community level focus, but it's not widespread. Charity Navigator health and youth development categories include some male focus groups, but the total number of charities primarily serving men and boys is likely 500 to 1,000, reflecting some limited societal emphasis on male specific causes and overlap with broader youth and health charities. So, fellas, men, little boys, men specifically, I think at least deep down inside, we already knew we were going to lose this. We already knew we'd definitely lose the cats and dogs. And I think we already knew we were going to lose to the women and the little girls. So, I mean, look at this. It says the total number of charities primarily serving men and boys is likely 500 to 1,000. So it might not even reach 1,000. It might not even reach 500. So it's pretty rough, you guys. We gotta do something about that. So, but that's why I'm making content like this, to point these things out. Like this seems ridiculous, right? But comparing the stats of charities for cats and dogs, and women and little girls and men and boys, it highlights it highlights how just how little of a focus there is on issues that men and boys are dealing with. So, and it's actually really sad. Like, it's really sad. So, I mean, it says it right here, reflecting limited societal emphasis on male specific causes and overlap with broader youth or health charities. So, yeah. So, anyways, final comparison is 4,000 to 5,000 for cats and dogs. So, good job, cats and dogs. Congratulations. You get the gold medal. You won. All right. Give it up. Um, Women and girls is 2,000 to 3,000. So, ladies, you didn't get first place, but you got the silver medal. You did pretty good. So, And I think y'all knew you'd beat us out. A lot of you probably thought you'd even beat the cats and dogs out somehow, but if you did, I don't know how you even thought that. And then again, men and boys, man, we knew deep down inside at least we were gonna lose. Like I knew before I even looked this data up that we were gonna be at the bottom of the barrel. So we got the bronze, and I don't even think we quite got the bronze. So yeah, it tried to pull up a graph, like so, but it couldn't come up with anything. But yeah, it said these estimates are based on available data from sources like Best Friends, Charity Navigator, and IRS reports, but exact categorization is challenging due to overlapping missions. So, and that right there, saying how it's challenging due to overlapping missions, that's because like really again, the for like men and boys, mainly the only thing there is out there is like Big Brothers, and like the YMCA, there's not that much out there. So, but again, that's why I'm doing the Father's Gospel podcast, and that's why I'm, not just me, but like there's more and more men like myself out there trying to highlight and are doing a good job of highlighting these issues. So, but anyways, you guys, that's what I got for you today. The cats, the dogs, they're the winners. They got the gold medal. So let's all give them a round of applause. Let's give them a little clap. And ladies, it came in second. You tried, you did good, but not even, not even you can beat the cats and the dogs. So, and men, we know what we get. So, but anyways, we keep pushing on. All right, you guys, till next episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. I love you, and more importantly, God loves you. I'm Codell, and this is FGP. I'm out. Peace.